Eyes on Corruption, Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN presents Eyes on Corruption, a weekly x-ray of social and political issues. Eyes on Corruption, an expose on issues that bother on corruption-related practices in Nigeria. Eyes on Corruption, informative, educative, and enlightening. Eyes on Corruption, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Join us on our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and our website, gcsdn.org. Host, J. Ehizefua Ohali.
Hello, sorry, there was a technical issue and it's been resolved. Once
Eyes on Corruption, Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN presents Eyes on Corruption, a weekly x-ray of social and political issues. Eyes on Corruption, an expose on issues that bother on corruption-related practices in Nigeria. Eyes on Corruption, informative, educative, and enlightening. Eyes on Corruption, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Join us on our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and our website, gcsdn.org. Host, J. Ehizefua Ohali.
hello once again. Sorry for the technical hitch. You're welcome to the program Eyes on Corruption, and today's topic is Corruption Incorporated. Ex-Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris Ahmed, voluntarily returned $900,000. Now, this is a man that is undergoing trial in respect of the 109 billion naira that was allegedly stolen by or diverted by this same man. This is the only part that has been discovered. There are others that we have not even started investigating or thinking of discovering. But I know if we have to dig deep into his activities, definitely we will have can of worms to unveil. Anyway, we are here to discuss this issue and to look at the impunity with which public officers act in Nigeria to the detriment of the population, to the detriment of the suffering masses, to the extent that over 60% of Nigerians have been pushed into abject poverty by these same political gladiators, political players, the government in power today. This is a combination of irresponsibility on the part of governors, lack of political will by the so-called elected representatives to act conscientiously to salvage the nation and to genuinely do the task that they were elected to perform, and so many other things culminate in these happenings. in a country where people are barely able to eat a square meal a day. The country is rich, but this sovereign wealth of the people does not trickle down to the ordinary man on the street, because a few supposedly lucky people who have had the opportunity of getting close to the source, to the seat of power or positions of trust, are doing a disservice to the nation, to its people. And the government in power, a, it's an accomplice, because if things are happening under your watch and you are not checking all those things that are happening, then you are an accomplice. And to that extent, I am calling on Nigerians, as a matter of fact, to begin to organize, to begin to strategize, to begin to discuss with one another, and to ensure that come 2023, the election that is coming will be, as a matter of fact, a decisive moment in the life of Nigerians to transform the nation, to elect people who are capable, who have capacity, people who can be trusted to serve the people genuinely rather than lording it over the masses. This is what every Nigerian must begin to talk about and to do something about, because not doing anything about the situation will only make the matters worse. And those that have been the victim of this system will continue to remain victims of the system unless they take it upon themselves to say enough is enough and do what it takes. This is not rocket science. We know what is wrong. We know what we can do to change this narrative and to change the status quo. But we are not willing to make that one-time sacrifice. That is why we are continuing in this circle of irresponsibility on the part of governance, on the part of the government. And a nation gets the kind of government it desires, it deserves. So if we actually genuinely desire idiots and sycophants to lord it over us, we will continue together. But the opportunity is presenting itself now in the 2023 election for people of genuine passion to rebuild a nation, to come up, fold your sleeves, go to work, and ensure that come 2023 we'll bequeath a new nation to, to ourselves and to our children. We'll bequeath a new nation where people of competence, people of character, people with conscience, people who can be trusted are only those that are elected or allowed to gain access to elected positions. And that is the reason why I am calling on all Nigerians at this point in time, those in the diaspora, those in the country. We all have a stake in that country, Nigeria, and we must unify our efforts to ensure that we come to the rescue of our nation. A nation of over 200 million people is not is a formidable market for development. It's a formidable market for transformation. Unless we begin to realize this and act in accordance to lay down principles that engenders good results, we can never change the system, nor can we change the situation for the better. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is a clarion call on all Nigerians, home and abroad, big and small, rich and poor, to ensure that we take the bull by the horn this time around. We must not allow thieves who have stolen us dry to come back and push themselves on us with their money by throwing money on the poor, using weaponizing poverty to ensure that they continue to grab a hold to the nation and to its jugular vein. The jugular vein of the nation is in the hands of these people, and we must extricate the nation from the hands of these money bags, corrupt politicians, die-hard and evil-minded personalities that want to strangulate our nation to death. Nigerians must wake up. We cannot continue to live in a situation and wish the problems away. We cannot continue to live like this and wish the problem away. In the case of Idris Abba, who has returned $900,000, the court also heard how 84.7 billion was taken from the $2.2 billion due to be paid to the 9 oil producing states and shared among some senior government officials. And these are revelations coming up, and the government of the day is not taking a drastic and a draconian solution to these problems. It is also said that an official of the EFCC, Hayatudeen Ahmed, disclosed this while testifying at the trial of Idris and 3 others in the court in Maitama district in Abuja, Federal Capital Territory. These are facts and not just wish, not just insinuations. These are facts that are being corroborated by witnesses, by participants in these nefarious acts, and in other crimes like in the in Asia, such persons would have been tied to the stake and killed, or even beheaded in some Arab countries. But we are having a field day because people like this, they still with impunity and still brandish this word on us, on our faces, without consequences. No, we must not continue this way. Nigeria must be rescued from the hands of these thieves. Nigeria must be rescued from the hands of political thugs, political armed robbers who have taken it upon themselves to do whatever they want to our nation and to our people, pushing over 133 million people into abject poverty. Is that not enough for the people to be provoked and chase out this bald head out of town, according to Bob Marley? Is this not enough for crisis to erupt in the nation where the common masses will say enough is enough and unite over these common enemies? Are just a handful toiling with the affairs of the nation, toiling with the future of our children, our children's children? Is this what our forefathers fought for at independence? This is unacceptable, and Nigerians must be aware that there is a day of reckoning, and that day of reckoning is at hand. We either step up to save the nation from these thieves, or we continue to wallow in this abject poverty and extreme poverty syndrome. We multiply and quadruple, and we do not want that. For this reason, the government in power that has superintended over these rogue acts and massive looting of the treasury must be crumbled. The government must go, and a new government must come. A government that can be trusted. A government where the people will decide what and how they want the nation to be. A government where only the capable hands will be getting the job of running the affairs of our nation. Because if in a job interview, you look for the competent and capable hands. We don't look for mediocres when we are conducting an interview. We don't look for mediocres. We don't look for inexperienced or dishonest people to be given the job. In like manner, in Nigeria as a nation, we must begin to source for people who are capable, who are experienced, who can do the job. We cannot say because it is the turn of section A or it is the turn of section B, and we give the mantle of leadership to a rogue or to an armed robber or to a drug pusher or to a drug baron. No, that is not it. We give the job to who is capable, who has proven to be a capable person, and who has proven to be a trustworthy person, and who has proven to be such that the people can trust. We can profile, we can look at the profiles of every of the presidential candidates and every of the local government candidates and every of the states as well as national candidates to the respective elective positions. We must begin to scrutinize, ask questions, engage them on what they are going to do to change the status quo, on how they think they can change the system and make life more decent to live as people in our nation. So that this brain drain we are experiencing will become a thing of the past. So that Nigeria will begin to give a sigh of relief and live in a country confident and reassured that the nation will cater for their needs. A country where there will be social justice, a country where equity, fair play, the better reward for better pay, for better job done. These and all of the good things of life are what we expect to have as a nation. Come 2023, go and get your PVC to be able to exercise that man, to be able to exercise that right and give your mandate to who is competent, who can be trusted to lead the nation out of the woods. We are still in the woods. We must be led out of the wood. And it can only take a genuinely passionate leader, not a ruler, a genuinely committed person who has the political will, the social will, and the determination to see to it that the status quo does not remain. And that is the reason why we are all inconveniencing ourselves to ensure that we reach out to the nooks and crannies of our nation through social media, through direct contact with people, organizing, strategizing to ensure that people are well enlightened before the 2023 election so that they will be able to make informed decisions towards bringing a total turnaround in the governance of our nation for the better. And that is the reason why we are calling on all well meaning Nigerians, wherever they are, people who have the fear of God in them, people who are touched by the fact that Nigeria is crumbling, must wake up to this clarion call to rebuild our nation from its ashes. This is not acceptable. We must not continue to suffer in pain and penury because we have abdicated our responsibility of demanding good governance, of working towards establishing a good governance in Nigeria. This is our clarion call. Nigerians must rise to the occasion, and this must stop. We'll be going on a short break, and I'll leave you with this
That is the real and the truth. And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They are already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They are everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria. Don't joke with what I'm saying. I have a PhD from Oxford University. I'm a central banker. We don't talk nonsense. So don't joke with what I'm telling you. I have this from the highest possible authority, higher authorities of some of the commanders of the killers and Boko Haram.
You said northern governors, past or present, Dr. Badaya?
No, current. No, they said one of them is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. One of them. And they are not looking for money. They have more than enough money. In fact, he told me they just came back from one of the Middle East countries in private jet, full of ammunitions and dollars.
Did they tell you, Dr. Badaya, why they would want to cause civil war in 2022?
Yes, so that they can continue in power.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? So all the things that have been happening in Nigeria, they are for a reason. This is a well-respected man, Honorable Melafia Obadea. He is privy to so many information, and he has just let a little of the cat out of the bag. This is just what is playing out in his very, subtle way, and this is the end game. The end game is to continue to perpetuate themselves in power and have the effrontery and the temerity and the audacity to do whatever they like with the people and with the resources in our land. This must not continue. Nigerians, wake up and do the needful and chase these bald heads out of town. This is not acceptable. A sitting governor is a leader of the group, is a leader of the terrorist group. We have had so many information from different quarters, and this is the situation. Nigerians, you must be wise. Prepare yourself for what is to come. This is going on. This is why the massive looting and stealing has been unchecked. This is why lopsidedness in appointments are unchecked, and nobody can confront these situations because they know they have their game plan and they are going and prosecuting their game plan according to their plan. Nigerians, wake up. We must not allow this to happen. A sitting governor is said to be a commander of Boko Haram, and they're going to wage war in this 2022. God forbid this will not happen. We must resist this at all costs. That is why somebody can steal over 109 billion and still be appearing in court as a king, as a power broker. This is nothing, as an untouchable, and nothing is going to happen. These court cases are just jamborees and chariots. This is not how it should be in a country of our birth. We must stand against these things. we must begin to sensitize our people to the extent that everybody will be knowledgeable and better informed to do the needful at the appointed time. Nigeria is grinding to a halt. We are approaching a precipice, and only God and our determination can save us. Only God and our determination can unite us to fight these common enemies. Enemies of Nigeria are not sleeping. They are making our nation dry. They are strategizing and doing everything to perpetuate themselves in power at all costs. And some of us in the south and the west are sheepishly following these people blindly without knowing their end game. Their end game is to continue to perpetuate themselves in power and subject you to a subhuman condition with the power that they are wielding. This must stop. Nigeria belongs to all of us. All no one is more Nigerian than the other. We must take the determined stand to right the wrongs and build a united nation where no man is oppressed. Though tribe and tongue may differ, let us stand in brotherhood and fight against the common enemy. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you once again to the program Eyes on Corruption that comes to you every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, reaching you live most times under the auspices of the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, beaming from multiple social media platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course our website, gcsdn.org. Until I come your way again next week, same time, same program, I wish you a Merry Christmas in advance and a Happy New Year. Nigeria will decide in February 2023 whether we want a nation of our dream. It is just about 79 days away for Nigerians to cast their vote for a new president, a new governor in each of the states, and of course, new leaders in all spheres of the political ladder. Time is ticking. We must take a determined stand to rescue this nation from money bags, from thieves, and from the people that have plunged us deep into this. Thank you and have a good time. Share this program, like, and make your suggestions wherever